Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity and today I'm reviewing Party Hard 2 on the Xbox One. It's been developed by Pinnacle Games and published by Tiny Build. So what is Party Hard 2? Party Hard 2 is best described as a strategic Hitman-like isometric game with a lovely pixel art style. The premise of the game is that you play as a person who just wants some sleep. However, it's 3 AM and once again your neighbours are having another loud party. You snap and decide it's time to finally put an end to it, by any means. The game boasts 14 crafted story-based levels with 2 bosses, 4 different characters to play and unlock, randomly generated object placement, dozen of traps, and even Twitch integration. So what's about the gameplay? I never played the original, so went into this sequel a bit blind. Thankfully, you don't need to have played the original to understand the plot of this one. The game's core identity is that you're a killer with a variety of objectives, and to progress, you must complete said objectives any way you choose. From the beginning, you get the option to choose from 2 characters, each with unique stats and a special ability, with 2 more being added as you progress. The main one is Party Hard Killer. However, there is a wannabe character which provides an easy option to play the game. Just don't expect any achievements to unlock if you choose said option. The other characters allow for a more varied playstyle that actually is harder than the option to play on a harder difficulty. For instance, if you choose the Alien, you have to remain hidden from all NPCs, otherwise mayhem will ensue. Something you don't have to worry about as the Party Hard Killer, as you basically blend within the crowd. Once chosen, you then start the level, which is introduced with a short visual narrative, and then you are left to much your own devices to cause as much or as little mayhem as you like before escaping. As I said earlier, gameplay wise it's all about objectives which vary from killing everyone at the party to specific goals such as finding objects or performing different tasks like blowing up trucks. Now how you go about said objectives is entirely up to you, and this is where the real fun begins. It allows you to be creative in how you'd accomplish them. For instance, say you need to take out some drug dealers, you could lure them with objects such as money or a boombox, then either kill them stealthily and hide the bodies. However, you may find that a bit boring, so how about getting positioned to many of the traps spread around the level and setting it off, not only taking them out but bystanders as well. There is a plethora of ways to end people's lives here, which with some thought and creativity can provide some truly marvellous kills. Also, by using a variety of materials found around the levels, you can also craft items by combining them, like using a gas can with a beer bottle to make a Molotov. Add this to a room you have just doused with petrol and you can easily ramp up the death count. For me, what was the most enjoyable thing was actually working out what I can do, which proved more of a challenge than simply ending a target's life. Every main character also has a special ability, which I actually forgot to use most of the time, which recharges the more you kill. These vary per character, with the main character having an area-wide insta-kill, or the Alien having a widespread trap which hold targets in a specific location. Now, all of this would be a serious pain if they hadn't made sure you could easily find your targets, shortcuts and materials, as the levels are busy with lots of things going on. Thankfully, the devs have provided the killer with the ability to see highlighted elements with just the click of a button. Green items are the ones that can be picked up / combined with in order to make deadly traps and weapons. Orange ones are NPCs with a special role to them, like bodyguards and janitors. And the red ones, well, they're your primary targets. Using this ability will become second nature to you by the time you hit the second level, as it's essential in keeping track of all targets and in turn learning their patterns. And learning their patterns is very wise, as you never know when things will go wrong and the police will get called. You see, for every kill there is a meter that rises, which will bring the cops out when it gets full. Now, this can be circumvented by hiding said bodies. However, if you go full carnage, this will result in the local plod turning up straight away, and if you're seen, it's game over. And because you have a limited stamina bar, don't even think you can outrun them. Level design is superb, with multiple environment kills and setups available for you to find and utilise. I mean, who would have thought hiding 3 dead bodies in a grave would cause a zombie to appear? And they become more interactive and larger the more you progress. Thankfully, shortcuts are dotted around to help you out if you need to get from one side of the map to the other quickly. There is also a number of secret areas that you'll need some creative thinking to get into, but are worth your time if you can get in there. Add to this a lot of hints and events you can trigger if you look carefully at the posters dotted around the place, and there's always something new to explore. Plus, items don't spawn in the same spot, so should you lose a level, you'll have to explore again to ensure you get the materials you were after. Due to the size of some of the maps and the tasks you need to complete, levels can take anything from 20 minutes to hours, depending on how you wish to go about killing. The only issue I found, and this was rare by the way, was working out a safe distance to take out a party goer without being spotted. You see, sometimes I was completely hidden, but still spotted. Others I was in the wide open area and completely ignored. Again, not a major issue, but it did crop up now and then. And this leads me on to the graphics. I really like the pixel art style here. It ties in perfectly with the game's great isometric view. Whilst yourself and NPCs are 2D sprites, the fact that it's set in a semi-3D pixelated world does wonders for its unique look. It helps you easily spot items placed around the level, regardless of the bright setting and crisp visuals. Explosions, fire and general bloody death are all suitably satisfying in its pixelated form, and after a while becomes endearing. There is also a comic style cutscenes which help tell the story from a third party's point of view, which really helps break the game nicely into parts and introduces the new level's different art style in a convincing way. Weapons, general NPC movements, environmental settings and lighting are all lovely. It really shows off how a well-polished pixel art game can look. Interactions with NPCs are also well done and not just static elements, so you can have a lot of fun manipulating them, like making them wet themselves, bribery or just getting them drunk, which is then visually shown with a poison symbol over their head. In terms of visual bugs, I found nothing, and from what I could tell it does have a steady frame rate. And now to the sound. Here again, sound has been done very well, with music replicating the general feel of a party atmosphere. There's also great voice work in the cutscenes, with humorous takes being expertly given between levels while progressing the story along. General sounds are also crisp, and explosions in particular feel weighty to help you know something has gone off when not in the vicinity. Overall, this is an area that works well, and regardless of your output, would give your ears the oomph they need to murder more. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Party Hard 2 is a great purchase. There is plenty here to keep even the most clever killer amused, and with Twitch interaction also tied in, this is a great game to enjoy alone or streaming. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £16.74 or approximately $19, and depending on your skill and patience would give you about 20 plus hours worth of gameplay to potentially clear the story. Combine this with multiple different objectives you can replay, different characters to unlock, items that are randomly generated. It's a great game for that price. If, like me, you've never played Party Hard, Party Hard 2 is a great game to start from. Murder people to your heart's content in funny and unique ways whilst enjoying this lovely pixel art style, which is a great way to spend an evening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.